Alright, what's happening everybody? It's your boy Akeen and welcome to the Pro Football Exclusive College Football Blog. Here to continue my BCS recap of all the major BCS conferences. For this blog, need to talk about the Big East Conference. It was a rocky season in this league in which three teams ended up having a share of the Big East title at the end of the season. Louisville, Cincinnati, and West Virginia. But West Virginia ended up getting that nod in the Orange Bowl against Clemson over Louisville and Cincinnati because they had the highest BCS rankings among the three schools. But it was a great season in the Big East. Every team was pretty much beating each other, going up for that, trying to make it to that top spot. It looks like West Virginia was the favorites to win the Big East championship, and they did. They did clinch a share and they're going to a BCS bowl game. Now it's time for me to give you my honors and awards for all the individuals and teams of the Big East. Offensive Player of the Year award, I need to give it to Geno Smith of West Virginia. Just under 4,000 yards passing this season with 25 touchdowns, leading a good Mountaineers offense that averages 35 points per game, and they're looking up to a big match in Clemson come January. Defensive Player of the Year, I'm actually going to go with Kasim Green of Rutgers. He's the star middle linebacker. He is 12th in the nation in tackles with 127, and he's actually the reason why this defense for Rutgers had the best total defense in the league. He had a great year. He definitely deserves this award. Along with 127 tackles, he had 3 sacks this season. Newcomer of the Year, I'm going to give it to Teddy Bridgewater of Louisville. He had a great season, ended up closing the season 5-1 for the Louisville Cardinals in that second half, and he broke a school freshman record with 1,855 yards passing this season. They're actually going to a bowl game, a share of the Big East championship. They were 3-4 last season in the Big East conference play, but this season they only lost 2 games, clinching that share, and he was part of the reason why Teddy Bridgewater was part of the reason why the Louisville Cardinals did so well this season and clinched a share of the Big East championship. Coach of the Year, now this was a hard pick for Coach of the Year. I was thinking about either Charlie Strong of Louisville, Butch Jones of Cincinnati, or Greg Schiano of Rutgers. All three of these coaches have great arguments, but I'm going to go with Louisville's head coach, Charlie Strong. After last season's 7-6 record at the end of the year, they were 7-5 this season, but they clinched a share of the Big East championship, ended up closing that season to a 5-1 run, especially starting to this season with a new true freshman quarterback in Teddy Bridgewater. Strong had a lot of things on his plate this season. They wasn't too sure who's going to be their starting quarterback. Looks like Teddy Bridgewater had to step in as a true freshman, and their defense was 14th in the country with 19.2 points allowed per game, and that was the good reason why they did so well this season. The defense stepped up as well as Teddy Bridgewater, and Coach Charlie Strong deserved this award because he led this team to a Big East championship. Surprise team of the season, not the Louisville Cardinals. I'm actually going to go with Rutgers. This season, a lot of people predicted the Rutgers Scarlet Knights to be finished last in the Big East standings, especially finishing 4-8 last season. But this year, they went 8-4. They're back in bowl contention. Greg Schiano, as I said, he's one of the Coach of the Year nominees that I mentioned. He's having a great season coaching this team, leading them to a bowl game, turning their season around. The defense had the best total defense in the league. I definitely have to go with Rutgers because they surprised a couple of people, especially with big wins over West Virginia, and they had a great season. So I'm going to have to go with Louisville with Rutgers as the surprise team this season. The team that I was most disappointed in is USF, South Florida. They had a terrible year. They had so many high expectations this season. They started their season 4-0, especially with a big win over Notre Dame in that first week. But in the next 7 games, they lost 6 of those games, and they are not bowl eligible at the end of the season. 5-7 it was their overall record, and I'm very disappointed in this team, especially with so many high expectations for quarterback BJ Daniels. He's an underrated dual threat as most people expected. Now he is just a junior, so he has 1 year left of his college football career. He needs to step it up next season. But this year I was really surprised about this team because the Bulls were my dark horse of the Big East conference. I thought they had a chance of winning that Big East championship, and especially having a 3-way tie. South Florida should have definitely been involved in that 3-way tie. They lost close losses to West Virginia, Louisville, and Cincinnati. I'm very disappointed in this team, especially in conference play. Just 1 win in conference play. That is pathetic. So many people thought they were going to do great this season, but they did not. Now, the next time I'm going to catch you guys is a little bit later on today, as I will give you a recap and summary of the Big 12 Conference. Thank you for watching this blog from Pro Football Exclusive. I'm your man, Akeen McCall. Be easy.